What did we just watch?
We are here, halftime War Eagle guys. 14-10, Texas A&M on top. Out of the ways, click like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, making sure that you are following us on the social media. That is the War Report on Twitter and Instagram, as well as the Facebook page. And then we have TW Report on TikTok. 14-10, and likely what should be a 14-14 game. Let's just be honest. He missed wide open to Stove. That was a walk-in touchdown if he just puts it on the guy. So we should have gotten 7 on that. But our defense, the story of the first half is our defense is getting absolutely gashed. Their offensive line is mauling us. We can't stop the run right now. Before we even got on for real, we had a comment that said, sadly, our D-line is our weak spot on this defense. Linebackers look like DBs, not SEC linebackers. That pretty much sums up what our issue is right now.
Yeah, I agree.
We can't stop the run because no one is being physical up front. And Kevin Steele is having to try to blitz to try to get enough guys downhill against the run, and they're still gashing us up the middle because most of the blitzes are coming from the outside. We're just getting washed up front.
Yeah. I will contest your statement about this should be 14-14 because
me too.
Because that overthrow is what we expect. Right.
Well, just talking about what actually happened on the field, though. He was wide open.
Well, actually, it's easy to say what the score should be based on what we didn't do, but they also left at least
they left
3 to 6 points on the field by that missed field goal. So they should still, by definition, still have the lead.
Listen, time of possession to me.
I'll say that 14-17 is probably likely if they don't miss that field goal. I can accept that, but I still say a wide open touchdown is we shouldn't expect that. I'm sorry, I don't care.
Time of possession.
That's been both. That's been both this whole season. I don't even know why we get mad at that stuff anymore.
Because it's still happening. I don't care. I'm going to get mad if I see a guy wide open at the 2-yard line.
It's Bo.
I don't care if it's my little sister. Bo. If he is out there on the field, I expect him to perform. You guys expecting mediocrity is fine. I don't.
Don't put words in our mouth.
You just said it's Bo, so I should expect him to overthrow a wide open receiver.
Yeah, it's the end of the season.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not surprised. Well, you're not surprised by it.
It's not about being surprised.
I'm not
it's about expectations of what I see on the field.
Well, that's just what he.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? Like
I'm still going to be upset about.
This is the same guy who turned to the side to spike a football.
So, okay, with the logic that you guys are positing because it's Bo, then our defense getting gashed right now.
No. Listen.
This is happening all year.
Yeah.
No.
Listen. Let me tell you.
So that's just our deep run.
The story of the game is time of possession, right?
Understood.
They are dominating time of possession right now. So like, nobody should be fooled by the score. This game isn't really close. It's not, right? Like they have held the ball.
They've definitely killed us this game.
Right.
They've been dominating this.
I want to address this point by Jay right here, right? So this is what I was talking about in the pregame where I kept going back to South Carolina, right? The end of the game management, I keep effing screaming it every week, right? Well, could be critical here in a game like this. We all called this one 17-21-ish. Right, that's not looking crazy if our defense steps up. I mean, we gave up 174 yards on the ground. Insane. I'm telling you right now. So they're on track to run for like 350 yards on us. I just saying Kellerman has got he looks great, but his stats are mid. That's crazy, right? Like he's completed 11 of 12 passes.
Amazing.
But only for 97 yards. Yeah, he's just going out there and making the throws that he has to make. That's it.
Because we can't.
Spiller's being amazing. The O-line has been amazing.
That's right.
He can afford to be mid.
Right. Yeah.
And to Jay's point, Malzahn is just happy to be down 4 at the half.
Right. Yeah.
That's really what the problem is.
Out. Like they were going to score.
He is so relieved that we're only down 4.
There was nothing we were going to do to stop them.
That's what that was.
Yeah. Right. They should have preserved time on Texas A&M's drive and called a timeout when they ran the ball on second down. When we got the stop on Spiller on first down in the red zone, they could have called a timeout. They didn't call it then. We just wasted almost 40 seconds of clock that we could have had to try to get at least a field goal before.
But do you know why you do that? You do that because you don't trust your quarterback to run 100%. A competent 2-minute offense 100%. Down the field at the last minute without turning the ball over in your own territory and giving them more points before the half. That's why you don't do that.
Yeah.
right? So this what we're watching is a whole mess, right? And so I'll say it again. I can hear it already. There are some sunshine pumpers somewhere else out on YouTube right now talking about, man, we're still in this. No, we're not. We really are not. Now we could
If
win
our
it.
defense does not step up in the second
Right.
half of this game, we are going to get ran off this
If we get a repeat of the first
And they
half,
will, 'cause
we'll
they're
get
tired.
beat. We'll get beat by at least 3 touchdowns if we get a repeat of the first half.
Yeah.
Right. So something has to change dramatically, both offensively and defensively, for us to win this game. That's all.
Offensively, I don't think that we played bad those second 2 drives. The second drive, inexplicably, we did not have an interception there because Bo basically threw the ball directly to the safety. And then somehow, again, missed a wide open touchdown. So the second drive, we're lucky to come away with points if we want to play all of the possible scenarios.
Okay.
But the offense actually looked better those second 2 drives. We actually sustained drives, got down the field, made multiple first downs. The offense has not looked. The first drive was atrocious. The second 2 drives were okay. I'm not so down on the offense right now. The defense is letting us down terribly right now.
Well, they were my key of the game, and I said they have to play well in order to even give whatever we put on offense on the field. They have to give them a chance to even put us within striking distance.
Somebody got to explain to me why Mark Anthony Richards is not running the ball more because clearly still
again,
100%.
It goes back to Mike's point that he said pregame to where we need to be a team that's next man up and play the next available guy. Mark Anthony Richards played well enough at the end of the Iron Bowl to earn some snaps in this game, and he hasn't got
some meaningful snaps.
Right.
Yes.
There's no reason why a 70 to 80% Tank Bigsby, you're telling me, because it's clear when the guy is hurt, he doesn't trust himself to go and make tough yards because he's not even attempting to do it right now. So why not go put a guy in the game who can get you the tough yards that you need instead of the guy that's saying to himself, I'm going to avoid the contact and bounce the ball.
Exactly.
Play Richards in this half. And somebody's got to explain to me why that's the case right now.
That's what he does. That's what Gus does, man.
Mismanagement, man.
This is what he does.
Yeah, we're used to watching this at this point.
At this point, it's hard. Again, I get your frustration, but I've seen so much of this to where this is what it is. This is Gus. This is what Gus does. This is what Bo does. This is what we are at this point.
Yeah, and then let's give our opponents some credit, right? Like,
yeah, that's what their offensive line is amazing right now.
Yeah, their offensive line is playing great, and
there's some millionaires on that O line, future millionaires in the making.
Can't stress as mid as Kellermond is. He's just going out there and making the throws that he needs to make. 11 of 12. Our quarterback was 11 of 12. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about this like this. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so, you know, I mean, I get that you're not down on the offense. I'm down on all of it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm down on all of it. I did not expect this from our defense. I really did not. But I have to give credit to Texas A&M and their game plan, right? Like, you know, they're continuing to manage Kellen Mond and just put him in a position to not make mistakes, right? You know,
probably.
I'm not so sure about that. I'm actually not so sure about that. Amber alert out for Auburn defense. Tank doesn't look the same, right? Yeah, agreed, right? And which is underscores why this is why we need a new coach, obviously. Which is why we should be seeing more Mark Anthony Richards, right? Right? Like, so I don't know who's all right. I mean, like, these comments are meant, like, I mean, but it's all of it. It's all of it. That's what we've been saying, right? But again,
this is why my whole key was the defense. Like, the defense has to be the story of the game, and they have been the story of the game for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
But we've been
you got to give credit to Texas A&M's offensive line 100%.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Listen, they're playing a great game.
Sure.
They're proving why they're a number 6 team in the nation or 5 team in the nation. Right. Like, they've got a great run game today. Right. I mean, in terms of the SEC, they're average in the run, but we're making them look much better than they are. And their quarterback is just the ultimate game. He has turned into the ultimate game manager under Jimbo Fisher. Right. Like, you know, and we're not even getting that kind of production out of our second-year starter that's supposed to be much better. Right. Like, so I mean,
find someone who's going to bench Bo, not hold him accountable, bench him.
Well, that's what we mean by accountability. Like, you're not playing well enough, get off of the field.
Right, right.
Yeah, instead of just saying, hey,
I don't even think he's earned the right to even be held accountable.
It's plays like the play he made on the touchdown that make people say, see, he's got all this potential.
Right.
And it's like, dude,
at
some point that potential has to translate to consistency. You can't just have a bunch of potential and never actually use it consistently. That doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, that one play meant nothing.
Incompetent offense.
That one play meant nothing. The announcers went nuts, and they were like, "Oh, he's so athletic." I'm like, "Okay, yeah."
Listen, I told my wife, I was like, "We're gonna see this BS on Sports Center all day."
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're gonna act like
they're gonna play this all day.
Yeah, like but again, if you leave it to the sunshine pumpers, all out there on the internet, right? They're gonna tell us about how Bo is getting ready to turn a corner. On the real thing, you guys, what you do? We need this. Hey, listen. We are providing a public service here, right? We are providing a public service, and for those of you who don't know, I
think he meant Jimbo there.
Jimbo, right.
I like the name though.
So for those of you who don't know how the War Report started, I just want to take 60 seconds to tell this story. I was a former film guy for Auburn football. I filmed every game and practice and bowl game for 4 years. So I know Auburn football inside out during the Tuberville era and followed it very closely after. And Caesar and I used to call each other before every single game to be like, man, what you think you're going to see today? And then at halftime, and then check back in after the game to whine and complain to each other. So one Christmas, I run into Isaac at a random house party, and he's like, you know what? Me and Brian do the same thing.
Actually, it was Thanksgiving because
was it Thanksgiving?
No, it was classic. It was classic.
Call it classic, right? It's classic, right? And Brian said, you know what? Me and Brian do the same thing. Maybe we should just do it on camera and let people chime in. And I was like, you know what? Like this is what folks, this is what our show is about, right? Like the conversations that you all are having with your best friends and your family members and venting your frustration is what we're doing on camera here for you guys, except for just with a tiny little bit more insight because we're maybe watching a little more closely and we've got some unique perspectives on Auburn football. But if you're tuning in and you're expecting to hear us all say Auburn's going to win this and you're looking for rah-rah, this is not the broadcast for you. So there was nothing to rah-rah. Right, yeah. This is nothing rah-rah about what we saw in the first half here. That was awful. And you can look at the scoreboard, but anybody don't listen to these ESPN announcers. They'll try to play it up to keep you engaged and interested, right? But the truth is we got dominated in that first half. We got dominated. Did he have any blocks on the play, though?
No, there was not a single person blocking on that play
until
he escaped in Houdini fashion and got downfield.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't even understand what the play call was initially.
Right. It looked like a screen.
Right. The offensive line looked like they were blocking screen.
Yeah.
He looked like he was throwing the quick out to Seth that wasn't open.
Right.
And then he somehow escaped the thing, and everybody else is downfield to the left. And I'm just like, I just don't even
like a screen.
It was terrible.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he had the wherewithal to put the ball out over the goal line at the end there. That was, but the comment that we had earlier about the timeouts is why I think we don't have a chance in this game. Game management. Right.
We've already surpassed our number of yards we average per game in terms of what we give up on the ground.
This is crazy.
It don't look good. It don't look good.
Right. And you know what that means for this defense that's been getting gashed and they're losing the time of possession battle? That means in the second half, they're going to be super gassed. If I'm Texas A&M, I'm coming out and I'm running the ball right down your throat. And
there's literally no reason for Texas A&M to have even thrown a pass in this game because we have not stopped the run a single down. Go back and watch the first half of that game and show me a negative run play for Texas A&M.
Right.
Show me one. Any negative run play for Texas A&M in the first half of that game. I challenge you to.
And then when your quarterback comes out after those plays and then just makes a 15-yard strike down the middle, right? Those are back-breaking throws, right? Like these are back-breaking throws that Kellen Mond is making when they are running the ball like this.
Those two screenplays.
Oh my God, that was a bad omen. Bad omen.
Yeah. Agreed. Like, listen, our D-line is in a state of emergency.
I missed this one.
I appreciate this.
Facts, Jay.
All right, yeah. I'll tell you. Listen, I'm throwing a lot of shade at some other creators, but like, we created this because I just got tired of hearing national pundits who clearly don't watch Auburn football try to tell us about our team, and we're watching it. We're like, what are they talking about? We don't even see the same things, right? If you listen to ESPN, Bo Nix is still the next coming. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how they talk about him. They still talking about legacy and his dad. I'm like, we almost at the end of his second season, and he's arguably regressed. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're saying, but like, yeah,
I'm definitely mad at the defense, Tyler. I'm sorry. They have helped Bo a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
The run defense has been atrocious all season.
Yeah.
All
You know
season.
what? And you know why we're so disappointed about the defense? Is because it's all we've had.
Right.
Right. It's the one thing we've been able to lean back on and say, well, you know what? If our offense was just a little bit better, this is a championship season. And now we don't even have that. Right. We're just a whole ass mess on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, I mean, share your frustration.
Hopefully, at the end of the game, we'll have an opportunity to talk about something more optimistic. I don't feel good about our prospects because, listen, time of possession has definitely not been our favor. We left a lot out there on the field, but we'll see what happens at the end of the game. You guys come right back here. If you got frustration to vent, then we'll talk about it after the game. As always, stay locked right in here with the War Report. We'll see you guys at the end of the game. War Eagle.
War Eagle.